Initially, the arcade stage series, spanning 11 games and 3 ports, is played by many people simply because they're fans of Initial D and want to casually race against their favorite characters on Japanese mountain passes. However, most long-term players play it because of their competitive nature and very high skill ceiling. Apart from D0 version 2, the games themselves sadly don't teach the player about many game mechanics and techniques that you need to know to be good at them. This is where this series comes. I'll be telling you about each game on what I would define as an intermediate level. I won't be teaching you about the most advanced things because they're generally only useful when you want to get close to world record times, and because sadly I don't know all of them myself. With that out of the way, let's start at the beginning. I'll be covering all first 3 versions and their ports at once. Because they all run on the same game and physics engine, and apart minor differences, all have similar driving style and techniques. The main thing to know about the first arcade stage are very early shift points. In all 3 versions, the first 2 or 3 shifts should be a bit before the red line, with the last gear shift a bit after the red line, although it does depend on the course. But in the first version, they are all way before the red line. Apart from that difference, the handling is the most floaty of all of them. Version 2 fixed both issues but added another problem in the form of car balance. The Integra DC2 became the top car by a huge margin, and the Cappuccino has a huge lead on Akina. On Special Stage, the PS2 port of version 2 made the cars more balanced and added a few changes to the handling, making the cars a bit harder to control and resulting in slower times. In version 3, apart from making the DC2 second worst car in the game, made all the cars a bit more understeery. And lowered the top speed, resulting in slower times compared to version 2. The PSP port, Street Stage, kept the same handling and car balance, but changed the way you tune your cars. In all previous versions, you unlock visual and performance parts by getting points. After full tuning the car, you'll keep getting more parts in the form of maintenance. After getting all of them, your car will be noticeably faster by a few seconds. On Street Stage, instead of the points, you use cards you unlock while playing the game. Because of that, you no longer have maintenance parts, which makes Street Stage a lot slower than version 3. Old arcade stages are all about keeping your car off the walls and pointed towards the corners. While this might seem obvious, the reason why I stated this might not be what you think. Here's what I mean. When colliding with walls, apart from obviously slowing down, you also get a wall penalty. The wall penalty will make your acceleration worse for a certain amount of time, depending on how much you hit the wall. Even a light tap on the wall can give you some wall penalty, so it's very important to stay off walls. When it comes to general driving, brake early and try to go on the gas right after braking. Keep good racing lines, and especially in version 3, don't make sudden changes in directions. If you do, you might notice that while the car wants to turn, something stops it from changing direction. This is what I refer to as weight transfer in arcade stages game mechanic. While it's not the same as weight transfer in real life, it's still a game mechanic to take note of. While you can get good times without knowing about it, knowing about how it works can be really useful, as most advanced techniques utilizes it. What it does is it can make your car turn more towards one direction, but also make it harder to change the direction. The most basic way of triggering it is by lightly steering into the corner while going off gas or braking. This is why you might see often people steer lightly before fully turning the wheel. This might take some practice and getting used to, but it'll help your car take turns better. Another very important thing are the gears, which is why it's recommended to play in manual. The first and easiest gear technique to learn is machine gun downshifting. It's mainly used on Irohazuka's first corner where you want to slow down rapidly. Downshifting early helps your car decelerate a lot more. Another thing that downshifting does is weight transfer. You can use that in the technique that you might have heard of, eraser. By quickly downshifting and upshifting again while turning, you'll gain some weight transfer towards where you turn, while not slowing down too much. It can also be chained in specific places. A more advanced technique based on the eraser is TST, which stands for Cha Sang Cha, which is double eraser in Cantonese. What TST is performing an eraser early before the corner, counter-steering while not breaking the weight transfer from the eraser, and then turning it as normal with or without eraser. It can be a very tricky technique to pull off, especially on a controller, as it can be harder to counter-steer without breaking the weight transfer compared to the wheel. There are also some other techniques utilizing one or both of the attributes of downshifting, such as downshifting twice to lower your speed faster and upshifting right on exit. One important thing to know, however, is not to overuse them. I know of many people who tried using gear techniques too much instead of improving their driving, which made them slow down too much on corners and couldn't maximize their turning speed. I highly recommend not to think about the gear techniques until you're confident that you're already good enough. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and join me next time in part 2, where I will be covering the techniques using Arcade Stage 4 and Arcade Stage 5.